calling you a radical for all you April fucking fools. So the BLANCH hypothesis is still alive. Well, we're talking the COVID-19 hypothesis. The BLANCH hypothesis on Fukushima, we're long past that. The 10 years of field work, he proved it. It's knowledge. FUKTONIUM, as I call it. This energy pushed into the Pacific Ocean. So the World Health Organization, their 192-page, how much money they spend on that to tell you that all hypotheses are wide open. They know nothing. You read through it. They're still saying they think maybe it came from a wet market, was an animal into the sea, but the bottom line, in conclusion, he says all hypotheses are wide open. Well, the BLANCH hypothesis on Fukushima is not wide open. That's been proven. But no one seems to give a fuck. Where's your old cranberries? Cranberry sauce. Your electric funeral, huh? With your plastic flowers and metal flowers. Spring training, it's about over. Wood duck. God, what a year, huh? Out of here. So, it's important stuff. After all this, still mystified, still baffled, still puzzled, still perplexed, still unknown. Here's the other story. New Brunswick. Tim Martin and I have called over Oregon. Washington won't even return your calls. Washington doesn't do anything. They're derelict fuckers. WDFW, Alaska, but at least in Oregon, the health department has confirmed to us, yes, people have died from demonic acid. Why is nobody reporting it? We tell nobody. Who's going to report it? CNN, Fox News, Canada, the BBC. So, it's being reported in New Brunswick that there's a cluster of brain death. You get demonic acid, goes right to the brain. That's what it is. Again, from the sea. But we can't say the Fukushima. Now, demonic acid is a big, broad term for toxic. They're bottom feeders. Why do you think it's been emergency closed? Well, number one, there aren't any. How many videos have we done? But we're kettled in. Our videos should have millions of views. How many lives does it cost you by squashing Kevin Blanch's work? A lot. So, again, it's like Fukushima. The tide pools crash. The salmon collapse. All in acute fashion. That's not gradual. That's not even the hypothesis stage. I hypothesized they're lying on these meltdowns. That was my hypothesis. They're lying. These are full blown out fucking meltdowns. They're going to lie. They're going to push it into the Pacific Ocean. My hypothesis is this new energy, it's going to be much, thousands of times worse than they're telling you. It's going to fucking push an energy into the ocean. That energy, we don't know what it is. You're not going to be able to tell with a Geiger counter because this never happened, which I named Fuktonium. It's going to wipe out the sea. It's going to kill the photoplankton. It's going to cause a heat source. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. The Great Salt Lake is going to go dry. All predicted. Play back the tape, Your Honor. It's going to cause mutations. We're going to get viruses. We're going to get disease. We're going to see a wipeout of life like you never seen. The salmon will collapse on cue in 2016, the Chinook. That'll be your smoking gun. I said it over and over. Everybody's like, oh, we have record returns. Record 2013, 14, 15. Not the stillhead. They're starting to class 2016 on cue. ODFW, WFW, they're saying 1.7. I mean, we go from 1.4 million to 200,000. 5 years. It's a catastrophe. Tim Martin and those guys are up there, boots on the ground. We're boots on the ground. You know, it's going to cause a toxic and energy, a poison, which I call it a plasma, a gas. You know, when I always go back to Metal Braun, and Metal Braun always practical physics. Einstein's work was always, you know, the fabric, the woven grid, not a grid. And then Metal Braun's, well, it's a thing. It's not a grid. It's ebb and flow. And so he bent the antenna and proved it. That's how your cell phone works. Well, I take it even further. I'm like, it's not even a grid. It's not even lines through the space. It's a plasma. It's a gas. Bringing star power to Earth. That's what it is. Do we know what's on the sun? Do we know what comes off that sun? No. We know that the radiation from the sun can give you cancer from how many million miles away? We have 3 suns. Well, we have 6. I've reported as 6 right burning into the Pacific Ocean. Everything I hypothesized. I didn't just sit back and let somebody else. I did the work. I've done all the tide pool work, prove it. Historically, just the low tide work alone. I mean, you know how much work that is? Well, I'm fighting for my life full of cancer. The salmon work, smoking gun, the demonic act, all predicted. The Fuktonium, I says it's going to, the fires prove it. I says, look, it's going to get into the atmosphere when it's going to actually catch fire. I'm the first guy that started talking about the tree deaths. Everybody laughed, oh, it's beetles. I said, no. There's a gasman, there's a gas, there's a plasma. It's a pine tree. All my pine trees died. All of them, except one. In 2014, 2015. My dogs died of leukemia. You mix up some radio fucking Roundup, you mix it up with fucking some Fukushima fallout, and you've got a toxic fucking poisonous fucking soup from hell. And it's an acute catastrophe. So the World Health Organization, same thing as it's been on seals. Remember when all the seals were starving to death and I'm walking the coast doing a documentary on? They're full of leukemia, they're dissolving, their spines are... All this. Remember when all the birds, the mirrors, up and down? I'm boots on the ground. I'm not waiting for years later to come back and say, oh, well, we think now it's... I mean, how easy is that? That's pathetic is actually what it is. I did it in real time. That's the field work. So we got the hypothesis. We got the field work. Proven it. It's unarguable. It's acute. In science, you can run regressionary modeling, and we obviously know that this just wasn't some warm thing that just happened. It's obvious because of the salmon work, the tide pools, 2012, longevity on humans. Something is radically changed, crazy in 2011. It's unarguable. Everything changed in 2011. I mean, changed everything. The acute collapse on the tide pools, the acute collapse on the salmon, the fucking fires, the gas. So we have to start looking for that outline. We got to, what the fuck was it? What? It's so obvious. It's right there. It's as obvious as scars across my face. Oh, it's Fukushima. Scientists are mystified. They're baffled. There's COVID-19, no doubt in my fucking mind, has mutated. It's fish. It was some caught fucking fish. Somebody ate it. Whatever. Whether it be the bat hypothesis, the wet market, it's the fish. Happened right there. The acute collapse on the peninsula right there, which I named Russia syndrome. I first called Fukushima Del Mar syndrome. Del Mar, Argentina. You go all the way straight through, that's China syndrome. You go all the way through, you get to Del Mar, Argentina. I named Del Mar syndrome in the very early days. I'm the first guy that reported this was China syndrome right off the get. All this, perfect. You know, for Hamlet and Cassandra, they got together. They had a baby. Oh, cursed spite. Literally, was I born to fucking... that I was ever born to set this right. Fucking nightmare. Slide with Biden, she is. Slide with Biden. His own kid. Don't even get me going. So, then there's the knowledge. It's Fukushima. Then you have to defend your work. Against this tsunami, you know, the nuclear energy crime syndicate, who fucking owns you? Ask the guys on the USS Reagan. The nuclear energy crime syndicate. You think about it, everybody lock, stock, barrel. I'm at the World Health Organization in Geneva. You know, there's a little cart. They've been protesting Chernobyl since it happened. They got them pushed down the street and around the corner. I'm like, fuck that. I just walked right in. Laid my fucking Fukushima banner inside the World Health Organization. Security, here they come. Right on me. They ran me out of fucking town. You know, Kevin Semmelweis fucking put me in a rubber room. Little invisible germs flying through the air. That's blasphemy, even when he proved it in the doctor in Vienna. Cool. So, that's what it is. I've been defending my work in a fierce way. It's Fuktonium. You know, you can call it whatever you want. I named it. It's new. It's a gas. It's a vapor that has slid off. The storms have come up. It got into the trees. The fires. When the fires, 13 different fires in about an 800 square mile area. And I was arguing with biologists and, you know, firefighters and different people in California when it happened. I'm like, no. Oh, we think a bunch of ours simultaneous. Oh, fuck you. I'm like, oh, beat it. No. I'll never forget it. I'm on the coast walk. I tipped over some water in 2015. I'm out right where the slide is, right in Big Sur. And this fish cop stops. He's talking to me and he says, I says, well, you know, we start talking Fukushima, the ocean. He says, I've never seen it so healthy. I says, well, you need to get the fuck out of your truck. This is in March of 2015. Because I walked this whole fucking coast and it's not healthy. These tide pools are fucking wiped out. Well, I do pick up a lot of Fukushima debris. You know, we sit and talk. He grew up in California, blah, blah. By the time we got in, he took one of those Pacific Genocide stickers I used to pass out and he put it on his California fish cop truck. You know, and then I just kept on walking. You know, had seals coming right up to me, starving to, I mean, unbelievable. Remember that acute radical? Everybody forgets about that. You know, when they were poisoned, when they all went in 2014, 15. You know, the oceans collapsed 95% just in a 10-year block. I mean, the fires. So, I guess, put me in a fucking room or beat me to death, you know, and I guess I'm the savior of mothers, they call it Semmelweis. And I guess I'll be trying to be the savior of Mother Earth. So, COVID, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the Fukushima denial is the greatest mental illness in history. Everybody's gone along. It's the most obvious. I mean, how can, for every action, there's a reaction. You want to talk physics? For every action, there's a reaction. That's fundamental. The greatest action in human history is they're actually 6 full, not to mention the MOX fuel, not to mention the spent fuel pools, all just blown to smithereens, pushed into the Pacific Ocean. You're telling me there's no consequence for that? That's like me. That's like me coming up to you and go, boom, and blasting you in the face. So let's prove this right now. Okay, so for every action, there's a reaction. There's an old mega dairy poison milksmith sitting there. If I throw this up behind my back and strike it with this old wooden axe with a swing, what's going to happen? Nothing? Let's see. Let's see, kids. Well, that was quite the reaction. What about a bottle? Should we do it with a bottle? No, I don't want to spray broken glass all over. What else we got around here we could smack? Prove this. No clay pigeons. Well, we're out of stuff, but I guess I don't need to show you over. But so he says in the conclusion of this 192-page thing, in the end, we don't know. All hypotheses are still on the table. The COVID thing, I'm past the hypothesis stage. I did that, a year ago, over a year ago. I'm field working it now. This is a piece of it. The pneumatic acid, Tim Martin's done so much good work. the brain. That's what demonic acid doesn't. It's not a thing. Demonic acid it's like radiation. Radiation is a broad term. Demonic acid is a broad term for toxic and poisons. They get so much that they become too toxic and too poison where they'll kill you. It's Fukushima. I'm here to tell you. Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered, they're alarmed. That's not fucking science. That's golden handcuff fucking horror. I don't even know what the fucking black and yellow media fucking freaks. It just proves to you the nuclear energy crime scene owns the fucking world. Unbelievable. And just remember, I did all this while I was full of fucking cancer. Given 2 months to live. I'm going on 10 years. So let's make one more point of it. For every action, there's a reaction. Hit me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. So, action. Reaction. Oh, God. Cooking. Whew. God. It's like talking to a marine biologist or a fake nuclear physicist. Or somebody that works in a nuclear reactor. Or Bill Gates. Like having a conversation with Bill Gates. You ever even watching a video where Bill Gates does an interview? You immediately got to go take a fucking shower. So, put me in, coach. My hypothesis, he says, all hypotheses are open. COVID. Mutation from Fukushima. And it affected every person on Earth. What's going on in Canada right now on demonic acids, the only ones that are being reported. We know for a fact because it's not being reported in Oregon or Washington because all the vloggers and bloggers, they're bowing to an AdSense and they're going to be on the, I don't know what the fuck everybody's up to. Dutch Sense says it's a fluke. I know who's a fluke, Dutch Sense. I mean, fuck, he's going to sit and do videos. Oh, earthquake, earthquake, earthquake. Why don't you sit and do videos on baby was born? Baby was born. The greatest fucking event in human history. Oh, it's FUKTONIUM. I proved it. You know, me, oh my, Nobel Prize. I want my award. I want my fucking award. You know, bottom of the pyramid, 4 of them, it is the pyramid. You know, cash award. Let's do some live throwing. For every action, we don't want to cut a hole in that. Shoot a fucking soup can off my head. Got better with that left over the years, ain't you? Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Betrayed. By the way, I've been betrayed by Black Lives Matter. Fucking God, you finally listed. It's only a matter of time. They drop the fucking nuclear waste can. It's gonna happen. Stay tuned. COVID-19's from Fukushima. No doubt on my mind. But we have those. We have the great military industrial war pigs that you bow to in this fucking debtor's hell nation. Fucking obey, consume, obey, live in the fairy tale, live the fucking lie, longevity, die young of cancer, and loving it. Fuck. It's a freak show how everybody's gone along. It's unbelievable how everybody's gone along. Stay tuned.